Why do cats have whiskers? Cats, like humans, are hair-covered mammals. However, there are significant distinctions in the hair that covers our bodies. To begin, most people, with the exception of those who are balding, have thicker hair on their heads than on their arms and legs, but cats have a fairly even distribution of hair throughout most of their bodies. Our hair also grows longer on our heads than elsewhere, but certain cat breeds, such as Persians and Maine Coons, have a rather consistent overall length. Finally, while we have whiskers on our cheeks, they pale in comparison to cat whiskers. What are whiskers? Although whiskers erupt from hair follicles like other hairs, they really stand out on a cat's body. Whiskers are coarser and thicker than ordinary hair, with 3 times the depth of roots. Whiskers, unlike ordinary hairs, do not cover the full body. They are strategically placed over the eyes, chin, forelegs, around the ears, and above the top lip. The specific design and location of whiskers vary by breed, but most cats have 12 whiskers on each cheek, grouped in 4 rows. Whiskers are more sensitive than regular hairs because the follicles from which they originate are jam-packed with blood vessels and nerves. In fact, whiskers have the same sensitivity as human fingertips. So, while a human sense of touch is in the fingers, a cat's sense of touch is in his face. Whiskers are more than just attractive face traits. The whiskers on a cat's face draw attention to it. They frame the eyes, similar to brows, and draw attention to the muzzle when a cat smiles. However, whiskers are more than just cosmetic additions. They perform a crucial purpose. Whiskers are highly tuned sensory organs that assist a cat through daily activities. These unique hairs, like antennae on insects, assist vision and help a cat navigate his environment by delivering additional sensory input. Although whiskers are called tactile hairs, they do not actually feel anything in the way we feel things. When they detect objects or motions, they provide information to sensory cells. When air or an item passes over a whisker, the sensitive hair vibrates and stimulates the nerves in the hair follicle. Whiskers have their scientific term, vibrissae, from the Latin word vibrio, which means to vibrate. Cat whiskers detect small changes in air currents and send information about the size, shape, and speed of adjacent objects, allowing cats to navigate the world. Whiskers help to balance the body. Proprioceptors are particular sensory organs found at the tips of cats' whiskers. To keep the cat aware of what each part of his body is doing, the proprioceptors provide messages to the brain about the position of the body and limbs. This is one of the reasons why cats almost always land on their feet. Whiskers serve as radar sensors. Cats are known for having excellent senses of smell and hearing, but their vision is not so good. Cats see better at a distance and struggle to focus on items up close. By constantly delivering information to the brain, whiskers enable cats see things that are directly beneath their noses. When a cat approaches something in his route, he creates air currents that bounce back when they come into contact with solid objects. Whiskers, which behave like radar detectors, detect very small vibrations induced by changes in air currents. Whiskers can notify a cat to the presence of prey or potential attackers in the wild. Domestic cats' whiskers help them find their food dishes or favorite toys at night. To put it another way, whisker radar can assist a cat in hunting at night and keep him from crashing into walls in the dark. Whiskers convey feelings. When a cat is resting and content, the whiskers take a break. When a cat is active, his whiskers are active as well. A joyful or curious cat will raise his whiskers above his eyes, giving him that adorable, wide-eyed look we all love. When a kitten is threatened, he draws his whiskers taut, flares them, and then directs them forward toward the threat. These sensitive hairs respond when touched by the smallest particles. When a tiny speck of dust falls on a whisker above a cat's eye, he will blink or shake his head to fling it off. This reaction protects his eye, which can be injured by even a tiny dust particle. When walking outside, if the whiskers on a cat's muzzle encounter a tall blade of grass or a thorny bush, they prompt the cat to back up to avoid being scratched or poked in the eye. Whiskers save the day. Whiskers also prevent cats from getting into jams. As a kitty approaches a narrow spot in the fence, a slender space between rocks, or a small area between the living room chairs, his whiskers will help him determine if he can fit through the passage without getting stuck or turning over the furniture. This keeps the cat out of trouble in more ways than one. Whiskers need protection. A good portion of the cat's brain is devoted to processing data from touch sensors. Whiskers are reliable touch sensors, and almost 40% of the brain's sensory area aligns with the parts of the body that have whiskers. Each individual whisker can be traced back to a specific spot in the brain, which means that whiskers occupy valuable neurological real estate in the feline body.